This is going to be a good one. Hey guys, welcome to another Iron Mike GT Sports FAI stream. Today this is the round 8 manufacturers FAI series at Interlagos. Group 4 cars, 15 laps, 8 times tyre wear and 5 times fuel. I'm in the Mitsubishi for the manufacturer series, and the tyre wear is pretty good on the Mitsubishi, which is, I think it's a 4-wheel drive car. The fronts do tend to wear a bit, but the car still handles quite well. So my setup is brake balance 4 to the back, and no planning on short shifting. It's hard tyres only. Fuel consumption is pretty harsh, but short shifting should get me to the end. I didn't put in a time. I'm planning on starting at my good old last place. 5 races today, so was looking at possibly doing another race. This is the first race of the day. So short shifting to get a no stopper strategy, and we're away. A little bit of nerves, but knowing that I'd have more races and that the race isn't that hard and fast, my nerves weren't too bad. Just have to see how we go. So surprisingly enough, there's already turn 1, a bit of shenanigans going on. That's 2 cars have already got past. So my plan or strategy, I guess, obviously is, having practiced, is short shifting, but my strategy really is to get myself into a rhythm and try not to get drawn into any battles where I lose focus on my fuel consumption and find myself short on fuel. I've got 15 laps to get my fuel level under control, and currently I've probably got 13 laps of fuel, so I'm 2 laps short that I need to try and make up. I'm quite easily at the moment short shifting to just save some fuel with all these cars in front. But I was getting concerned that even though I would be fuel saving, I'd be coming up to the back of these cars and nowhere to go, and just slowing down unnecessarily, and therefore wasting fuel trying to get up a hill or whatever. But you can see here things getting a bit bunched up, so I just spend a little bit of fuel. I would normally spend a bit more than normal on my fuel up this hill, but this was quite a bit just to get past these cars. Good opportunity. So lap 1 from 20th place up to 15th. I'm happy with this track. I like it. It's not my favourite, but I do like it. Bit of a rush, slight dive there. Just couldn't believe it. Maybe around here, just couldn't work out. You know, I'm usually pretty good at my fuel saving and therefore a little bit slow, but some of these cars look like they were going very slow. It's getting a bit chippy ahead. Just getting past an Australian guy, Geordie, there. So up into 12th place, and now I've got this Nori Japanese guy on the inside, making sure that he wasn't going to start pushing out, even accidentally. Just very, very sensitive at the fact that he was on the left hand or right hand side there. Taking this corner, he goes out wide and falls back, so holding that 12th place. I was concerned there'd be a mix of cars in this race. Some cars fuel saving going slow, and others behind you not really thinking about the fuel saving concept and just pushing hard, and possibly planning a push hard and pit, and then getting very impatient and something going horribly wrong. So I think at this moment, since I'm in this crowd, I was actually using a little bit more fuel than what I'd normally be planning. I didn't want to just get caught behind these guys and just sit there while everyone else is getting away. You can see in the top right hand map there is quite a gap. So even this car, I was quite surprised how easy I was getting past him in the little Porsche Cayman. So it's probably around here. Actually, I couldn't believe how many cars I was just getting past. So I had to look at how many laps this race is. I've been practicing all week on 15 laps, and I thought maybe it's been adjusted to 18. I seem to be pushing pretty hard here. But I had a look, yep, it is 15, so I'm not too sure about all those guys behind. I started 20th, I'm up to 9th now. Anyway, so next person I'm after is, I'm not going to pronounce their names, some of them are pretty hard, like this guy in front. Here's the next guy I was focusing on getting past while I had this momentum. After a little while I realised the guy in the Sirocco had a fair pace, so I thought, well, I'll just stick behind him, take advantage of the slipstream, try and save a bit of fuel. So here we go, so I've completed 3 laps and I've got 11 and a half laps remaining. I should have 12, so in theory I'm just half a lap down. But at the time when I looked, I'm thinking 11 and a half laps, I need more than that. I thought I'd need about an extra 1.5 or 2.5 laps. But only half a lap down is not too bad. So at the moment I thought this guy's pace is looking pretty good. If I can, I'll just sit behind him for a while. I wasn't too keen on getting in front, considering he did have a reasonable pace. Just take advantage of the slipstream. It was a bit tricky at times because maybe around here I might catch up pretty quick and I'd be right in his bumper. And then other times I'd be just falling back a touch. I did feel like there was a small window that you can work in, and that window being the fuel saving window. If you're, let's say, below that window, you're going too slow, you're saving too much fuel. If you're above that window, you're going too fast, you're consuming too much fuel. And I felt like I had it about right. So checking the fuel again, 10.7, so I've got 11 laps remaining, so I'm now 0.3. So I felt like I had it just right. I was pretty much on the mark each lap. So I knew I wasn't going too slow, I wasn't going too fast. And ultimately my goal in this race was to avoid everyone. I just wanted to race on my own, stick to my routine, stick to my fuel consumption. I must admit I didn't pay too much attention to my tyres. I knew that they could handle 15 laps. It was really the fuel. So I just wanted to ignore everyone else and just complete 15 laps. And it did feel a bit strange. Here's a guy right in front of me and I can push the car pretty hard to get past him, yet I'm not. It just felt a little bit slow the whole race. Just coasting around corners and then short shifting up the gears. Just had to push a bit harder here, make sure this Japanese guy in the Sirocco didn't get away from me. So completing 5 laps, I should be coming up to 10, so 9.9. I'm just slowly getting closer to that magic amount. The other, alright, so here comes this Mercedes AMG, Norrie, pushing hard. Usually for me, when people are pushing hard, it's a sign that they're consuming a lot of fuel. So again, seeing him in my mirror there on the left, just trying to let him go without any contact or interference. I didn't want him coming in hard and slowing me down. Just get the job done and keep moving. And then the other advantage is, if you want to go fast, you go for it. You get in front of me and I'll just tow behind. So dropping back into 10th place, again this was a situation where I wanted to be in the top 50%, and at the moment I'm doing okay. I would be watching the split time behind me on the odd occasion, so 1.3 seconds behind is a gap. At least they're out of my slipstream. Just nice and easy through the corners, just nice and smooth. So it looks like Norrie, that's in front, has broken the slipstream from me, and the guy behind is now 1.7 seconds. So there's certain corners where cars aren't taking the corners too well. So I'm not sure if Norrie's read the memo about just driving smooth, looking after your fuel. I mean, to me, if he's driving hard, he should be past that Sirocco by now. So it seems like there's a fine line between driving hard and fast and just driving nice and smooth and consistent. To the point where if you do pit, it's going to cost 20 to 30 seconds. Just to change tyres. That's not including refueling. It's quite a costly pit stop, so that's why I've got the 0 stopper plan. Ooh, I almost followed this guy off the track. So 2 people pitting there. Cruiser, who's an Australian, he pitted as well, so from 10th up to 8th. Occasionally coming in a bit hot in that corner. So halfway around this track will be halfway, and my fuel's looking good. Just keeping an eye on this Geordie behind me. He's catching up pretty fast actually. I know he's dropping off again. So the guy in the Sirocco, he's just got away from me for a little while there, about 1.5 second gap. Just trying to gently tow him in. guess the other thing I was trying to do during the race was trying to think of who had pitted, for example, like that cruiser, and where are they on the track in relation to the left-hand leaderboard, to see whether or not they're very quickly going through the grid and catching up. But I really couldn't see anyone. It like they had dropped quite far back. Almost in the slipstream of the guy in front. And this is what I liked about this race, you know, just taking it easy, taking it smooth, just lifting a touch early before the braking zone, going nice and smooth. I could 90% of the time I'd be hitting the apexes. So still got that Geordie behind me, 1.1 seconds behind. I guess the reason why I'm very mindful of people behind me, if I'm not paying too much attention, they could be catching up pretty hard and I could be getting a whack on a corner. It's in a slipstream now, so that was quite easy. And then Geordie's dropped off again to 1.1, 1.2, 3. So I'm assuming there's some cars that aren't doing too well on corners. So I've been behind this guy for quite a while, just taking advantage of his slipstream to help save fuel. And yeah, you can see we're catching up to 5th place. And I think it's 5th place is a Japanese guy called Hathaway in a Mazda Atenza. It's funny, in the race there were moments where I thought maybe I should be trying to, like the guy in front, bump draft him to help catch up, but that's going to be costing me fuel. So I must admit I avoided bump drafting people at all costs. So I've got Geordie catching up pretty hard now. I think he comes in for a pass. It's him moving up. Didn't know if he was going to bump draft, so I just take the corner nice and easy to give him heaps of room to pass. Didn't want to challenge it at all. And then there's another guy behind me, a Japanese guy, and I think he slowly starts moving into start competing. But again, I just stuck with my strategy, assuming that these guys are probably pushing hard on their fuel and will have to fuel save a bit later or pit. And if not, if I'm wrong, well then they'll be moving up and doing really well. Good on them. but it wasn't going to change how I was going to be driving. I wasn't going to start stepping up the pace, because I knew that once I'm in a deficit of fuel, I'm going to have to pit or pay the ultimate price and run out of fuel or major fuel savings. So I just stuck to my plan and just took advantage of slipstream. So a lot of people pitting there now, so I'm in 5th place. I'm getting pretty close to this guy Hathaway in the Mazda. Get a little tap from the guy behind, fortunately enough. So you watch this, catching up pretty hard, so move over to the left. It's pretty clear, and then this guy dives over like a... I'll leave it at that. But it was a little bit dodgy, that move. But luckily, that's the end of that. I was worried about a bit of a punt, or because of that behaviour that looked a bit odd. And after all that, you know, following the Sirocco and trying to negotiate around these other cars, laps were passing, and then before I know it, we're on lap 12. But I don't think I fully realised that at the time. I knew that I had the guy that was behind me, I think he's in a Mazda as well. No, he's in a Subaru. I think it's here. I thought, no, he's obviously faster. Definitely with my short shifting. So I was trying to get on the straight bit, and then I put my indicator on, so go around me. There's my indicator. So someone's pitted and come back out. So currently in 5th place, which amazed me at the time. I'm just thinking I started 20th and here I'm in 5th. So it's probably around here. I've let this guy pass me, and I think I looked at my fuel, and is it now? No, it's probably a bit later. I realise I've got, it's probably at the end of this lap. I've got 2 laps remaining, and I had 2.5 laps of fuel. So I thought I'm going to try and get this position back. I'm not too sure if I've already thought of that, because he looks like he is getting away. Yeah, so I'm looking there, it's 2.4 laps of fuel. I reckon it was now. I thought, hang on, I've got 0.4 of a lap up my sleeve. I should be pushing hard now. Put this guy under pressure. So this is where my gameplay changed, and I'm now pushing hard. And even if I am not fully succeeding, at least I'll be putting this guy under pressure, and he might be on the edge with his fuel, and hopefully I'll be pushing him over the edge, or so I'm trying to get him to either make a mistake or for me to get past, of course. There was a part of me thinking, don't go 100% attack because I still got to keep an eye on my fuel. So here you can see my fuel gauge is being displayed. There's quite a gap, 4.5 second gap behind me. I saw no need for a radar at this point. It was just a point of keep an eye on the fuel. So you can see here extra revs. I'm really pushing it now. Luckily for me, I was good for him, so I think he repays the favour. Doesn't block or battle. Unfortunately, I just go a touch hard in here and I go a bit wide, so I'm going a bit slower in this corner. And this guy behind, who I've just overtaken, gives me a nice helpful tap. During that time I had to have the radar on to see where he was. It was pretty much push hard now. But at a certain point around this this lap, I thought I still need to show some level of fuel saving. And not push too hard where I actually run out of fuel. So the gap's looking good behind. He looks like he's quite far back. But I think because I push quite hard, I'm quite slower on the corners. So it almost felt like this guy is starting to catch up again. The guy in first who's already finished damping, he was like 30 odd seconds in front, I think. Looks like it's saying 43 there, but that's quite a gap. Those guys were racing really well. So final leg now, and pretty much here I thought, yeah, it looks like I've got it here. So hazard lights on and headlights flashing. I was pretty happy. And the guy behind me actually runs out of fuel, so he just rolls over the line. So he did run out of fuel. I just couldn't believe it. So starting 20th and finishing 4th, up 16 places, 95 points, not 100, but I was pretty happy with that. That was the first and only race of the day for me. Hope you enjoyed the stream, guys. Looking forward to seeing your streams, and see you in the next one.